Hey guys, it's Julian, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make burial drums. I'm learning a ton of new stuff on this about how to make them sound better and more authentic. As usual, you can get the project files, samples, MIDI, presets, everything that you just heard in the intro is available at the top of the description. And I want to let you guys know I've actually just dropped a new template, my burial drums template. This is what you're looking at right here. This is what I'm about to break down in the video. Essentially, what this is for just $5, you can get this awesome template where now you have all the drums laid out. So you could go and switch out some of the sounds here and there, bring in your own stuff, try some different things, but it's all there for you. So you see how many layers you need to really make it sound professional, how those layers need to be working together, and how they need to be mixed. You can really go through here and I think learn a lot that you just can't quite get just listening to the records or just watching a tutorial. So yeah, the link is at the top of the description. This also really helps support me. If you guys enjoy these videos, definitely go grab that because it really helps keep me going. And yeah, let's dive in. So this is a template here, and I want to show you, so it's kind of like 4 groups of things, right? So we have up here a bunch of percussion sounds. And so this is where we're usually going to put, these more kind of garagey sounds, so to speak, right? It's not really a lot of Foley sounds and little background stuff like that. There is a little bit of that in here. There's a little bit of those kinds of sounds, but essentially these are all of these little things, and we'll break these down individually. Then we have the rim shot, which, as you can see, I've actually used 2 different ones here, but they're on one track. We have the kicks, which, notice I said kicks. And then we have all of our kind of background Foley sounds, more of the high-end percussion. We also have that hi-hat in there. And yeah, so I think by kind of separating it into these 4 different ranges, it's easier to kind of understand what's going on. Because the truth is, obviously there's a lot going on with these kinds of percussions, and I think it can be a bit overwhelming, right? Because when you hear this stuff, you want to go, okay, I'm going to use the garage sounds. Oh, but then I'm also going to use the Foley sounds. Oh, but then I also have to have a big punchy kick and snare, and it's a lot, But if you kind of break it into these different groups here, maybe start with the kick and the rim shot. And then say, okay, we're going to bring some Foley in on top of that to make it kind of come to life. That's a lot less stressful. And then you go and you do this stuff. And then it all comes together. So that's how I want you to think about it, is don't try to think of it all at once. Think about the kicks and the snares, and then this garagey percussion, and then the Foley stuff, and kind of I think it's really important to have that separation in the process. And yeah, so we're going to start with the kicks. So you can hear there's 3 kicks, right? We have one which just goes boom on every bar. And then these 2 which are kind of playing off of each other. And you notice the kick that's just going boom right on the downbeat there. That one is a lot more bassy and full sounding, and it's also a bit louder. And then these 2, I've actually pitched up quite a bit. Right, and I think I actually just have yeah, you can see they're playing a little bit higher notes. And that one's pitched. But yeah, I'm even just high passing those a little bit, I think. And then basically you're creating this groove where you have a boom, dun, dun, dun. It's not a lot of music does this, but it's we're basically creating a call and response in the kick. And the thing about burial drums, and a lot of people don't realize, it's very much based on call and response. The call and, it's not where are all the cool Foley sounds? Where are all the cool textured garage percussions? That stuff is important, but it's how you program those things, and it's like the way that you put those in, and the way that like these 3 different kicks are creating their own little groove here, just with call and response, and just with basically the fact that they all 3 have kind of different textures. That's really what we're playing with here. So that's the kicks, and those are pretty much dry. Like, we really don't need much. You don't need your kick to be like a massive techno kick here. Just something deep and bassy and fat, and then it's about mixing it, so you're still getting that punch in the overall mix. Then we move up to the rim shot. So from there, I start with the kicks, then we have this rim shot. And you can see, like, this on its own, very simple to program, right? It's just pretty basic beat. And when you play it on its own, it doesn't seem like it's going to work for like this more burial-esque kind of stuff, but it actually works very well here. You're hearing this groove underneath all the texture. Now, the way that I made these rim shots is essentially through layering. So it's kind of like, I'll show you actually, like, maybe we'll get like a snare. That one. We'll get a rim, but it won't be like fully fat just yet, like something like that. And then you can even use more layers, but these are the basic ones I would do. And then what you do is it's just a bit of EQ layering. Like, I'll drop EQ3 on here and take out the highs. So we're just getting the and maybe we'll shorten it a little bit too. And then this one, we can take just the highs, which I like using EQ8 for that because it's a little easier. Right? And we can shorten that a bit. And then what's happening is you're basically taking these samples, which are very punchy on their own, but now you can put those different like punchy areas together. Like in this case, the snare had a lot in the high end, the rim shot had a lot in the mid range. You put them together. And see, it's like you're still getting that nice fat rim shot, but now there's like a on top of it. Like that's all you're hearing. It's just a little, but it's that over top of the rim shot. And I think this is how you want to approach layering these. It's really not that much processing. From what I've really studied, listening to the tracks and seeing other people kind of explain it, it's not really like so much like, oh, what's the magical compression to drop on my rim shot? What's the magical snare saturation? Like, it's really just good sounds, having that ear for sounds, and then just, layering them together and keeping it clean and not messing it up. And so that was the process by which I made these rim shots. Now, these were more like 3 or 4 layers. But you can see now you get these really punchy, nice rim shots. You see it's 2 different samples, too, I have. So, yeah, but then by having those layers there, we're able to make something unique and also kind of make something a little bit deeper, too, I think it fits in the track a little bit better. And then by having the 2 different ones, it kind of brings the track to life. So this is a secret to make it sound more organic. Is just have these like, right? If we just use the same one every time. See, the whole groove is different. So it's those little subtleties that make the difference there. So then we have our kick. We have our rim shot. Then I would probably move up to using some different little Foley sounds. Now, the way I've done it here is you can see I have this drum rack. And so I have one hi-hat, which is just on the upbeats, the, like. But then it's just all these little sounds that I actually chopped out of a longer recording. You can see, yeah, it's just all the individual little chunks from there that sounded good. Some of these are even a little longer, like, you get like that, and then I'm just putting in 16th notes with this, that's all it is. And again, it's that call and response. You hear the like this is the call. That's the response. And that's really simple. You know, with this, you don't need processing because typically you're choosing these sounds because of the texture in there. Like, you're not really trying to get these and then go and do a bunch of extra stuff. It's not going to sound that good. Just try to find some that have a really nice texture. And then when you put them together, see, now we're starting to get a bit more organic. And then we bring in this layer. Which is really just like a lot of different sounds. I mean, we have a few different things. So like, this first one here is going to be... So this is actually, you guys probably know this drum break. Think About It by Lynn Collins, you know, very popular think break. So I'm just taking the tambourine out of that actually. Just this quarter note loop and it's just going... You can see, yeah, I pitched it down a little bit. And then I just have a little bit of erosion and some drum bus. And then I have it being side chained to the kick as well. Just a little bit. But you can't hear it when it's soloed. And yeah, that's just like a little background tambourine. We have like these two little rim shots. So those are kind of like their own little groove. And then they're doing call and response with this. Right, this thing which just goes... And the last thing down here is I have this little Foley percussion loop. Which is just kind of like, you can hear that's got a nice texture to it in the kind of mid-range. And that fills it out nicely. And then I've got a little bit of a bandpass on that too. And then on the group here, I actually have pretty heavy processing. So it's two things. We have echo and drum bus. So here's just dry. And then with the processing. So with this kind of percussion, you know, like when you're doing the kick and the snare and that kind of stuff, I try to keep it a little bit cleaner because I want that stuff to really, you know, punch. This kind of stuff, though, we can get really creative with the processing because it's basically just adding more texture and more crunch to the overall track. So, yeah, I've just got a really light echo. Like you can see, it's only on 4%. But it's just kind of giving everything a little bit more space and kind of making it fit together. You can see I got that on the ping pong setting, so it's like wide. And then the drum bus, which is pretty heavy, but again, like, you know, it's a good place to add that texture. And then this is going to sit really nicely under the kick and snare and stuff. And you can still make it as crunchy as you want with the drum bus to get the texture there. And yeah, so that's how I would go about doing it. And then the other stuff in here, I've got like a bit of vinyl noise. You know, classic for this style of music. I have this bass. It's like a nice fat respace and wavetable. And I have some guitar pads actually I made. If you guys want to see how I made these, I can actually make a video breaking this down. But these are really simple. This was mostly recorded with the pedal board over here. The effects inside of Ableton really aren't doing that much to it. I'm going to turn off the effects in Ableton. You know, it's just like a little bit of stuff. But yeah, so that was made with the guitar. And then I also made this with the guitar. Yeah, so that's how you do it. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. And let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get the full project files, samples, MIDI, presets, every single thing from this track and the template so that you can make your own drums is available at the top of the description. Once again, this is a great template if you're having a hard time making these kinds of drums. You got everything in one place so you can really see every layer that you need, how much stuff needs to be there, and how it needs to sound, so you can go and use it to kind of make your own drums. And yeah, once again, this also really helps support me. If you guys enjoyed these videos, just go grab it. It's $5, but it'll really help me out. And yeah, thank you so much, guys, and I will see you tomorrow with another video.